Hello, Virgo. It's Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to provide you with your October 16th through 31st tarot reading. I've done a lot of shuffling already, but I'm going to shuffle 3 more times so we could just get started. For those of you interested in a private reading, so we can talk about your personal issues, your personal release of a possible breakup, because that's what we've been talking about lately. That's what I've been talking about to all zodiacs lately. That's the direction that Spirit has led me in, to talk to those who have ended relationships so that they can walk into their new beginning. That's what we'll be talking about, because a lot of people are going through that with these retrogrades. It was all meant for us to see the people around us for who they really are. So, you pulled the Sun, Judgment, the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, the Page of Swords, and Anxiety. And I have to say this before I do the reading, and the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of people, if the reading doesn't resonate, A, it's not for you. B, don't try to make it fit if it doesn't fit. B, you must understand the vice versa concept if you watch tarot. Because as the reader, I have to assume that Virgo is the querent, is the person that is going through whatever it is. But as a cross watcher, if this resonates with you, then it resonates with you, because the Virgo was the individual who could have been the one that, may have fallen short in some areas. And we all have to admit that, we've all fallen short of the glory of whomever. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. We've all fallen short. So therefore, these readings have nothing to do with judgment. They have everything to do with the truth and how you're going to deal with it. Okay? So, back to where we were. The Sun represents the highest form of happiness, and it also represents illumination. Things being illuminated and shined, on specific areas. And that's exactly what this Venus retrograde is doing. It's slowing everything down to a place where everybody kind of slows down and takes a look at their surroundings, takes a look at who they're around, and then they realize, is this person really as virtuous as they're over here pretending to be? And you have to remember that I'm not just a reader that's sitting here doing a reading for you. I do readings for people every single day. And it's like the story of everybody's life. Everybody is starting to see their partner for whom they really are. They're starting to see that their partner had been wearing a mask forever. And then coming home and saying, "Hi, sweetheart," like nothing ever happened, knowing that they turned around and did something really hurtful. And had been doing something very hurtful and very secretive throughout the entire course of the relationship. And when you find out something like that, it's like, if you look at this column, the column represents illumination and this card represents secrets. So I feel as though some secrets were illuminated in your relationship, and it caused you to make a judgment call, basically. It caused you to say that something has to end in order for something to begin. And right now you're going through the motions associated with saying, this relationship has to end in order for me to really utilize my Queen of Cups energy with somebody who deserves it, which certainly isn't this Page of Swords. Because this Page of Swords is somebody whose intellect is not quite where yours is, likely. Right? Because I haven't pulled any sword cards on you yet, except for, this Nine of Swords, which represents lots of anxiety. And this anxiety could be coming from somewhere. It could just be coming from you no longer walking that familiar path with this individual. It could be coming from you saying, oh my God, I'm not coupled up anymore. I'm single. Well, if that's how you feel, Virgo, I want you to start thinking about the fact that being single ain't bad, baby. It really ain't bad. I mean, wouldn't you rather be single than be with somebody who sits and lies in your face every single day? Wouldn't you rather be single than be in a relationship with somebody who is like so immature, does not handle business like they're supposed to, and it's pretty much like you're single anyway? Their body is there, but like none of their actions are actually assisting you in any way, shape, or form. So, like, think about that. Think about what is it that's giving you this anxiety? You know, are any of these swords really important enough to keep you up at night? Swords represent thought. Are any of these thoughts important enough for you to actually lose sleep? Ask yourself. Because the next level that you're going to get to is going to be the Ten of Swords, which represents, sabotage. If you continue to allow yourself to invest in this anxiety. Because anxiety can do a number on you if you let it. And I feel that you're feeling this anxiety because you're such a loving person. You gave so much love to somebody that was ill-equipped to give you what it was that you were giving to them. And then once you realize like these secrets that came out in the relationship, it was like, oh my God, I can't even believe this person would turn around and do something like that to me, as loving as I've been to this person. Here we go with the spinning and the thoughts. Like, I feel like this person has a grip on you to some degree. And you have to understand it's not so much the person, it's the energy in the person that identified who you are. And see, my readings are really more geared toward light workers for you new subscribers. So if you resonate with my reading, you best believe that's exactly what you are, a light worker. And see, negative energies know who you are. They know who you are. And the first thing they're going to do is try to distract you and play games with your mind so that your reality is something that is completely different than what it ought to be to keep you in line with your light work. This card represents confusion, self-inflicted confusion. This card also represents anxiety, self-inflicted anxiety. These are emotions that you are co-signing on. You have the Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords. What's going to be next? The Ten of Swords? Well, the Ten of Swords would represent completion. It really would, because there's no way to go. There's nowhere to go from there but up. You understand what I'm saying? But you can wipe this out completely by saying, you know what? I'm just not going to invest in these energies at all. Your harvest was always coming up short, dealing with whomever it was you were dealing with. But, once you realize that and you went ahead and made the move that you made to likely walk away from this relationship, you're noticing that your money is now starting to change drastically, because relationships and money go hand in hand. They really do. You use your authority in this situation. You got on your horse and you did something about it. You said, you know what? I don't care if I have to reminisce about this relationship and really reflect on this relationship and find out like what went wrong. That's a part of the breakup. It's like you think back to like the parts of the relationship that made you feel comfortable, but then don't forget to weigh it out. Don't forget to weigh it out and say, you know what? How much good was offered and how much bad was offered, and like, were they balanced? Were they balanced? And I think that a lot of you came to the conclusion that it wasn't balanced, that you were the one that was doing a whole lot of giving, the other person was doing a whole lot of taking. Like I said, I do a lot of readings for people where it's like, one person is doing a whole bunch of giving, a whole bunch of breaking their ass to try to make this relationship work, and the other person's like rubbing their feet together, eating cereal and enjoying themselves and living a life of comfort, because you're the one running around like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to make sure all the needs in the family are met, all the needs in the relationship are met, while this other person is like sitting back and kicking back and taking vacations, when they want to. And that's not what a relationship is about. A relationship is about give and take. To me, this is the Lightworker card. This also is a card of seduction. The Queen of Wands represents a woman who really and truly understands her sensual side, who understands how her actions, the cause and effects of her actions. And I feel as though many of you were thinking about the cause and effects of your actions, in this situation. And you realize that you're too powerful and too resourceful to be in a relationship with somebody of this caliber. Here we go. What did I tell you? I knew it was going to come. I should have said it before I even did it, Before I, like as I was talking about it, I should have said it. Look at these numbers in Roman numerals, okay? Completion is here. Completion is here. You went through the gamut with this person. This person played all the freaking mind games that they had in their freaking magic bag. They really did. And because you loved them, you took what they said with a grain of salt. You have the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. Swords represent thought. This person has got to have some air in their chart. Because you know what they were doing? They were breathing air onto the fire, trying to light it. Trying to get you to make a move. Trying to get a response from you. And once you stopped giving them those responses, they went away because they weren't having any fun anymore. Or you're in the process of not responding to them anymore. Whatever the case is, you know that that's what needs to be done in order for this person to vacate. And that's hard to really and truly manifest when your feelings are still attached to this person. And your feelings could easily be attached to this person because of familiarity alone. Not because the relationship was healthy, not because the relationship was offering you anything, but simply because it gave you the status that you were coupled up. And now when you go places, all you see are people, couples together. And it's just like driving you insane. Like, oh my God, I used to be in a relationship. I used to be with somebody. Well, guess what? That person that you were with did not do anything in their life to deserve somebody of your virtue. And if you think with all these people on the planet that you ain't gonna find somebody else that deserves you, you're lying to yourself, and you're also setting yourself back a few steps. You're gonna find somebody new. You're gonna find somebody who deserves you. You're gonna find somebody on your vibration. Because anybody who likes to play all of these mind games to try to get what they want out of you, their vibration is low, because nobody should have to be playing any mind games to get what they want. They should be able to get what they want because there's love there, and you are both, fulfilling each other's needs, because that's what love is about. Love is not about playing mind games. Love is not about all of that. Love is about, understanding. It's about, I don't want to hurt you. It's about, I don't want to hurt you. I want you to be happy, even if it's not with me. That's what love is. And a lot of people don't understand what real love is. It takes a lot of long suffering in order for you to really understand what love is. And all of my readings are from my virtuous zodiacs. And when I say that, a lot of people like to hit thumbs down and this and that and all that. And that doesn't matter to me one bit, because you know what? I'm living my truth. And my truth is that I am here to be the conduit of the divine to assist those who need that guidance to get out of an uncomfortable position, close a cycle that is not serving them, so that they can enter into a new beginning and identify how much potential that they have, so that they can operate in their light work. And light workers work for the vulnerable. Somebody's got to be there for the vulnerable. And when you pull the Magician card, I know for a fact you're a light worker. And if you're busy focusing on the past, which is what this card represents, focusing on the past, something related to the past. If you're focused on the past, you're unable to get into the present. And if you're unable to get into the present, you cannot make plans for the future. If you cannot make plans for the future, how can you be an effective light worker? It's kind of difficult that way, you know? So justice, you're going to get it, you know? It took a lot of sacrifice for you to get to a place where you were like, you know what? I'm not going to stay in a situation that is not serving me, that is creating all of this depression. You know what I'm saying? That makes me feel like I want to defend myself and defend my name because this other person is like, you know, trying to make me look like a bad person because I'm actually standing up for myself. You know, it was a fantasy for me to think that this person was ever going to be able to actually provide me with, you know, a complete, whole, happy family, wish fulfillment. But you definitely could take care of your children for those of you who have them without this partner, because I want you to think about it. I feel as though I'm talking to some Virgo who have children with somebody that they decided to go ahead and ixnay because they weren't doing anything for the children anyway. You know what I'm saying? So in closing you out, Virgo, you know, you're looking out into the world now saying, okay, now where do I go? Like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? And a lot of you are like, well, I'm going to let this relationship die so that something more positive can take its place, you know? And that positivity is the Nine of Pentacles. You being single for a little while, recognizing who you are as a single person, realizing your own self-mastery. That color yellow really represents the solar plexus chakra, and the solar plexus chakra has everything to do with your feelings. And when you end a relationship, your feelings are all involved. And self-mastery. When I say self-mastery, I'm talking about you keeping your feelings in check so that you can focus on what's important, which is, you know, making sure that your currency is at the level at which it should be so that you can take care of yourself and your children appropriately. And so that you can also focus on other things that you want to master so that you can identify who you are as an independent individual. Because there's nothing more attractive than somebody who can take care of themselves rather than somebody who has to parasite off of somebody else to survive. So with that being said, that's your reading, my loves, for the last half of October. This is likely, you know, where you're going to be. You're going to be focusing on, you know, getting the justice that you feel that you deserve for giving to somebody who really did not appreciate a bit of what you gave, and, you know, letting this relationship die. It took putting yourself in a voluntary position of discomfort because you knew that this person was never going to change. You knew that this person was the source of all of your depression. You knew that this person was the source of all of the defensiveness that you had. And you felt like you had to defend yourself against this and defend yourself against that. This person started accusing you of all kinds of stuff, and it just turned into a bunch of hoopla. And you said, you know what? Hoopla ain't what I want. It's not what I want. And if it's not what I want, then you know what? I'm going to do my absolute best at making sure that, you know, this is not what I'm going to have. You know, if you don't want it, you ain't got to have it. Your life is yours. The choices that you make are yours. And they either come with consequences or rewards. You know, and if a person hands you a big bag of lemons, calling it love, and you went ahead and stored them, and then you realized that, this ain't love, these are lemons. And you decided to cut one in half and squeeze that juice, on one of their wounds. You know what I mean? I mean, you could look at that several different ways, but it's like, guess what? I wouldn't have had the juice to squeeze on you had you not given me all these damn lemons, you know? So it was like, you said, I'm not going to make lemons out of lemonades. I'm going to go ahead and hand you back all these lemons and see if you can survive off of this. All right? Because I can't, and I don't want to, and I don't need to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go get me some avocados. I'm going to get me some mangoes. I'm going to go ahead and get me a whole plethora of different items to survive off of. You could go ahead and keep those lemons because it seems like those are the only things you know how to produce. So with that being said, babies, that's what's up. I feel like the rest of this month, you guys are really going to be in thought mode. You guys are going to be really, you guys are going to be going through what a normal person who's gone through a breakup is going through. So for those of you who feel as though, you need some guidance with regards, to your breakup, my information is in the description box. This card just fell out. This came from a new deck called, Loving Words from Jesus by Doreen Virtue. Jesus is an ascended master who came to teach the concept of love. And you pulled this card. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock, for it's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. All right, Virgo. So that's what I have for you, my loves. Keep trucking along, babies. You're making progress. You really are, because you're identifying things as clear as day. You're able to see what you were meant to see with all these retrogrades. A lot of you in your spiritual space are realizing what you need spiritually, and you have decided that you don't want to be depleted anymore, that you want your wish fulfillment. And in order for you to get your wish fulfillment, you have to put yourself in a position to receive it. And you can't be in a toxic relationship thinking that you're going to receive something, wonderful out of it, because that's not how it works. Toxic people say toxic things. Toxic people do toxic things. And then it triggers a response from you. And then here you are caught in the midst of all of the hoopla. And you just got tired of the hoopla. And you said, you know what? I don't want the hoopla anymore. I'd rather be single than be in a relationship with somebody who's not assisting me anyway. Like, if I'm going to do it by myself, then I might as well be by myself. And that's like really how I feel you're feeling. I feel your energy in this reading. All right, my Virgo, I will speak to you soon, babies. Namaste.